Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellie and today I'm going to show you a few Christmas gift knitting patterns you can try out and gift someone for their Christmas present. Pooh, I almost forgot my tea, but it's right here beside me. So I have a few patterns that I have collected and I thought I would have to show you because these would make just great gift knits. I am not a huge gift knitter myself. I have done it over the years a few times, but the stress is just not worth it to me, so I thought I would rather knit either for myself or for someone else and then gift it when the time is right to me, and not just put all of the pressure on me to crank out I don't know how many patterns or like projects just for a Christmas present. So grab yourself a cup of tea, coffee, whatever you like to drink. I've got some Yorkshire tea in here and let's get into all of the patterns. By the way, you can find all of the patterns as a bundle down below. It is a Ravelry link, so you get to the whole thing over there. And let's get started with the first one, which is a major hype at the moment, the Sailor Slippers by Annie Germain. This has just been all over my Instagram feed, all over my YouTube page. It is a slipper pattern made up with super bulky weight, and you have a whole range of shoe sizes from 36 all the way up to 47. It is not a free pattern. You have to pay €9.15 or £7.70 for it, and the recommended yarn for this is Drops Snow. I think this is just a really fun pattern for scrap yarns, for just some different colours. A great gift knit idea, especially if you don't know the person's like proper foot size. This might just be great for you if you want to gift it to someone you don't see very regularly, because with felted slippers it can be a little bit tricky to get the size right. And I'll have an option as next pattern for this one as well. But let's stay with this one. It's been a huge hype. It's already got 684 projects. I'm loving the different colors. I know how versatile slippers can be. I love making them myself as well. And the great thing with these, the construction is supposed to be very simple. I've not made them myself, but I have seen lots and lots of different videos. What I really like about these is that the sole is actually a different color to the top bit of the slipper. It doesn't go up as high on the ankle as some other patterns. You can have a lot more color variation. You can play a lot more with different colors. Like I said, it's a great pattern for using up all of those scraps as well. And all in all, it just looks to be a very fun pattern. It's also not double lined, so it's just a single layer of felt, which for those people with really hot feet might be a great option. In comparison to this one is the next pattern, the number 3 Doublet Tuffler. Personally, that's my favorite pattern for making slippers. I've made quite a few of them last year. I love them. I thought they were very simple and easy to make, and this one actually is a free pattern. It is by Sandnes Garn. You can find it there as well, I believe, on the website or just directly from the Ravelry page as well. I've made 3 or 4 slippers with this one, and the felting process was just wonderful. It doesn't use the Drops Snow, but I know you can. I liked to use the Drops Alaska, which is a thicker version of Drops Charisma, 100% wool. I'm not sure if it's superwash or non-superwash, I can't quite remember right now, but this one worked great. Size range wise, this one has a lot smaller sizes than the Sailor Slipper. It goes down all the way to 25 to 26, but only goes up to 44 to 46. This one is also double lined, so what you do is you knit two hands that are like connected at the bottom in a sense, and then you fold the first one into the other, and that's how you get a slipper. This one, so it does have like 2 layers, and it does also go up a lot higher on the ankle, which is my preference because I get cold feet very easily, and I like to have my ankles covered as well. Like I said, this one is free, the other one is paid. I think it's just a preference thing. With the other one you can make it a lot brighter, a lot happier looking. With this one I just like to use one tone because it seems to be very tricky to get stripes or something going on that doesn't make it look super wonky. So you just have to see what you like better. Then sticking with things you can actually wear, I have the Noisette Charlotte by Trust the Mojo. This is also a free pattern, a very cute looking scarf. I've not made this before, but it looks really beautiful, very interesting. I am someone who likes to make very interesting patterns instead of just stockinette or garter stitch. I need that engagement, and for this one you need a 3mm needle. Stitch gauge is 32 stitches and 40 rows per 10 centimeters, so a sport weight is recommended here. I imagine it knits up really quickly and fast because it's just a little scarf, but it can be very elevating to an outfit, and I think it's just something different to the usual Sophie scarf that you see floating around everywhere anyways. So if you want to put a little bit more effort into someone's gift, or if you need something a little bit more engaging for your knitting, I think this might be a great option for you. Sticking with scarves, maybe something a little bit easier could be the Sorgenfrie Turkle. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think that is kind of the way you could say it, by Guri Pedersen. This is also a free pattern. It looks very similar to a scarf My Favorite Things Knitwear designed, but I think this one has been out before the other one. It is a triangular scarf with a really cool texture. It seems to be just knits and purls, so very easy and very beginner friendly. You need for this one a DK weight, so 21 stitches and 230 meters. That's also not a huge amount of yarn that you need to make this. So for those odd scraps or odd balls you have left over, this might be the pattern for you. Project wise, it's got 712 projects already, and all in all it just seems to be a really nice knitted scarf. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't think anyone has said that there are any problems with it. Size wise, there is only one size available, and that is up to 80 centimeters from tip to tip, I imagine. But I guess if you want to make it shorter or longer, just like with any small scarf, you can just knit it up to the amount you want to have, if that's yarn wise or length wise, and then just double it for the other side. So if you want to make it longer, you knit up to 80 centimeters, and then you just start decreasing, so there is not a lot of faffing around and anything really to do. I want to make this one myself. I think this would be a great not only gift knit but also thing to have in my wardrobe as just an extra option to the Sophie scarf and shawl that I already have. Just something with a little bit more interest, and something maybe I can also throw around my shoulders depending on how deep the triangle goes in the back. And you can have some really great colors. The project pictures are in this really lovely green, so I can also imagine this in a really bright red or a really nice dark blue. Obviously the texture might not be as visible in it, but I think you can really play around here with the colors. Next up we get into mittens, and the first pattern that I have are very standard cell wool mittens. These are the Rigmor Silver Mittens by Rigmor Dune Grande. This is a free pattern, very lovely mittens. You need 3mm needles and a DK weight. For this you need 118 meters. That does not sound like a lot of yarn. And it is based on a traditional silver glove from the 1940s, modified into mittens. I love the idea of taking something older, something with history, and putting it into the modern world, putting a modern twist on it. So I can really see myself making these mittens. Mittens have been a great gift knitting piece over the years as well. I know a lot of people love to make sailboat mittens in particular, and this might just tickle your fancy if you want something Nordic, if you want something a bit simpler and two-coloured as well. Now, staying on the mittens, I have the Kitten Catch mittens by Florence Miller. I've made a pattern from her before, actually two. She's a great designer. I really like how she writes up her patterns. This one is a beautiful pattern. You do have to pay for it. It is £4.40 or €5.23. You have these lovely cats on the front of the mittens. It just looks super cute, and then on the thumb you have a fish, which is just a great design idea to add a little bit more interest to it. It looks to be rather intense. You also work it on 2.25 and 2.5mm needles, so very small needles. So I imagine you might work on it a little bit longer, but I think for the end result it is absolutely worth it, and anyone who will receive this pair of mittens can count themselves lucky. The last pair of mittens that I have is also a free pattern. This is the Julvante 2022 by Maja Carlsen. I've made a jumper from her, very beautiful designer. Again, free. You work with a worsted weight this time. You only need 180 to 360 meters, so you also have a variety of sizes, I imagine, with this big of a difference in the meterage. You have loads of different languages. You work on 3.5mm needles, so a little bit thicker as well, and you need a worsted weight. I think these are absolutely beautiful. You don't have any colour work on the cuff, which really adds to the mitten in my opinion, because it doesn't distract from the pattern on the glove itself. It looks to be also on the traditional side, the traditional like Nordic vibe that you get with all them stars and stuff. So if you want something also a little bit more traditional, this one might be for you. I really want to make a pair of mittens, especially a Nordic inspired one, so I might go for this one myself. I love the red in it and the white. I'm just a sucker for those two contrasting colours. And you have 464 projects in projects that people have made, so you can also go through them for some colour inspiration and see what people said about this pattern, and maybe some modifications if you need those as well. Next up, we get into water bottles, and I've been falling into this rabbit hole of hot water bottle covers, and the first one, I know you've probably heard it a million times before, but it is the Maxine hot water bottle cover by Laura Penrose. I still think this pattern is just so beautiful. It can be an absolute joy to work on and to gift to someone. She's currently designing a new hot water bottle cover, and I think I like the new one even better than the Maxine because it uses less colours. It's just a two-coloured piece, whereas this one has a lot more. Obviously you can also make it into just two or three. You can switch and swap whatever you want it to look like, but this is just a great overall piece. It's very universal, it's very I wouldn't say standard, but I think everyone can benefit from a hot water bottle cover, and it's also not super time consuming because you also have two sizes. You have a bigger size and a smaller size. You work on a DK weight and you use 4mm needles, so it should be fairly quick to work on, and I don't think I know anyone who would say no to a hot water bottle plus cover in general. So staying on the hot water bottle theme, I have another pattern which I have actually made myself, so go and check out my podcast if you want to know more about this one. But it is a free pattern. Once again, it is the Snowfall Town hot water bottle cover by Season Kian. You work with a DK weight on 3.5mm needles. Beautiful pattern. I love the design. I think it's so fun and cozy, and the pattern is also fairly well written. There are a few mistakes here and there, or a little bit, not mistakes, but rather confusions. But if you look at the pictures, everything will work out fine. The only thing that I would point out here is that for the windows, you would have to use 3-stranded color work. You can also go in and duplicate stitch the windows, so you don't have to work with 3 colors at once. I did that. It wasn't pleasant. It was a bit of a pain, so I would actually recommend duplicate stitching it afterwards, so you don't have to faff around with what I had to do. Great pattern, highly recommended if you don't want to spend any money. The Maxine hot water bottle cover does cost something, whereas this one is for free, and I use the exact same colors as well as the pattern used, or the pictures used. So great pattern. Now the last thing that you can wear is a sock. I know I had to include a sock. I am not a huge sock knitter myself, but I think that they can actually be great gift knits if you know the person's foot really well. And I know that sounds weird, but I find socks to be very difficult to knit for other people. But this one is the Dream Home sock set by Stone Knits. She's known for her color work socks. They're absolutely gorgeous. I have them in my queue, and they cost €7.42 or 6.6 Swiss francs. She uses a 2.25, 2.5 and 2.75mm needles, so a very standard sock needle size, but you actually have the option of making 2 different color works. The color work happens only at the top of the sock, so only around the leg, which I love because I don't like to work color work throughout the sock. It's only at the top, and you have the option of making cute little houses with some clouds, or a high story house that is like a darker themed. I love them both. I would probably go for the darker version, but that's just me. So we're sticking with the cute like cottage looking houses with some bright windows. And you also don't need a lot of yarn, especially if you have like scraps lying and flying around. I would imagine you can use them up really well here for those clouds or for those windows if you have a little bit of yellow. So a great option if you feel like putting a little bit more effort into someone's socks. Now we'll get into smaller things and things you can't necessarily wear, but would be still great gift knits, also maybe for children. So the first one I have, and I do want to make this one myself as well because it's just so cute. It is the Isbjörne Ibo, or the Ibo the Polar Bear by Heidi Bang. It is a paid pattern. You pay €6.89 or 77 Norwegian kroners. You use a 3.0mm needle, so 3mm needles, and you use a bulky weight yarn. The pattern comes in English and Norwegian, and it's just the cutest polar bear ever. I've never made anything that resembles like puppets or stuffed toys or any of those things, but this one I think I really want to try it out. It doesn't look too difficult, the shape is very like boxy, nothing too fiddly either, and it would just be the cutest gift to someone's child or even your own children. She has just great patterns. Go and check out her other patterns as well that she has. She's super into the like stuffed animal creation, but this one seems to me as if it was the simplest one that she has, and as someone who's never made something like that before, I would rather start with something not too fiddly and too small, to be honest. So I think that would just be a great gift knit. I personally would have been over the moon if someone gave that to me as a child. The second thing that I have, I've made this one myself as well last year. It was a great gift, people really enjoyed it, is the Ribka pouch by Rat and Sea Witch. It is a paid pattern, I think, if I remember correctly, and it's a fish. You make a fish. It's great for those scrap yarns. I used a mohair held with a fingering weight to get a DK weight. You have different sizes. You can also make the fish longer or smaller, however you want to make it. What you do is you knit two halves and then you like sew them together. Great idea with a drawstring as the opening of the mouth. I love it. I want to make one myself, and I think it would look really cute on like dangling down a bag or something like that. If we stay on the same like train, I would say, we have the Onigiri earbud bag by Season Queen again. Just something small, something fun. If you know people who are really into like Asian food, this one might be for them. It also is a great stash buster, and a really cute face on anything makes everything so much more cutesy. So it is literally an onigiri thing. You can also, it's meant for earbuds. But I imagine you can put anything in there that is small enough, like some lip balm or lip gloss or anything like that. It's also a free pattern. You work it on 2.25mm needles. It does use a fingering weight, but I imagine you can modify it to be a DK weight as well. I'm very excited about this one. I might actually make it because I have a few friends who are really into like all of that stuff. And the last pattern that I have for you for this Christmas is also on the smaller side. It is the Strawberry Pouch Bag Charm by Alexandra Solovianuik. No, that's not right. Solovianiuk. That's her name. I know her because I have a few patterns from her in my library. She's a great designer. The strawberry pouch is exactly what it is. It's a strawberry but in a pouch. Super cute. Again, fantastic for scraps. You use a DK weight, you use 3.5mm needles. You only have one size, but again, I don't think it would be super difficult to increase the size and think a little bit about dimensions. It comes in English. You pay £3.30 or €3.92. It's just a great pattern. Also with some beads, I think it just makes it a little bit more sparkly, a little bit more lively, I assume. I can't add anything to this because it already speaks for itself. Again, you have a drawstring at the top so you can open and close it really easily. It's just cute and fun and something really quick for Christmas. Wow, that was a roller coaster and super quick going through these patterns. I hope you had one or two in there where you thought, I've not known about this pattern before, I might actually make it. I know I definitely have. There are some really fun things in there which I want to make myself as well. If you saw something you would like to try, then go and leave a comment down below. I would be really interested in that. Hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun researching these patterns, and don't stress yourself out too much about Christmas gift knitting, and just enjoy the Christmas time. I hope you have a lovely day, week, weekend, whenever you're going to watch this, and happy knitting. Bye!